Welcome to Living Longer, Living Well. I'm your host, Brian Callanan. Today we're taking a closer look at how Seattle is working to be an age-friendly city, which includes programs like the fitness classes at Southeast Seattle Senior Center. Seniors are getting together here on Monday and Thursday mornings, doing everything from stretching to aerobics to lifting weights. And joining me right now is Mark Bryant, who is an instructor for these classes. Mark, you teach here at Columbia City Fitness as well. And I just want to start with one thing off the top. There might be a lot of seniors out there who are saying, I can't do this, I can't lift weights, things like that. You flipped that notion on its head. You're a power lifter yourself. You've won some medals for your work in powerlifting at an older age, and you've had a hip replaced too. Tell me about your story.
Well, my story years ago from New York City, I was born and raised. And unfortunately, I had an abusive background and managed to get out of New York and move to Seattle. And I just continued to exercise for quite a while. The hip became worse and I had to get a hip replacement. But the thing about that, I love exercising, and at the time I was working with seniors too. And my main concern was getting back to the seniors. I wanted to get back to work with them again. And I knew after hip replacement, if I can get back and do it, it would change the mindsets of the seniors, because a lot of times it's I can't. So basically, no matter what your limitations are, you always start off slowly and just work with what you can. So it doesn't matter the pace, and don't worry about the weight. Use your own body weight to start with that. And just work little by little, and over time you will get there.
I wanted to ask about that. Maybe there's some seniors out there who aren't ready for the powerlifting circuit just yet. What do you tell them when they're just starting off? Maybe they've heard from their doctor saying you need to start an exercise regimen. How do you get warmed up into this whole idea of starting some sort of exercise?
It depends on the senior's fitness level. And so sometimes if they're too deconditioned, walking is fine. Maybe walking a half a block, and then the goal would be to walk a whole block. And then start interval training after that block, meaning walk up some little hills and then flat ground again. That does wonders for the cardiovascular system and strength. So you can work it like that. And then just do your own body weight. Arm curls, you can do body weight squats. Squats is great because it's a whole body workout. And so you can incorporate arms to that or anything, and you'll be surprised how quickly your fitness level will improve.
And you've got so many different seniors, and they're very active seniors that you're working with here too. But I just wanted to talk about this because the benefits we're talking about, you're going to go to the doctor less, you're going to sleep better. There are even some studies out there that show better brain function after you're exercising. What are you seeing the differences in the seniors you work with?
In terms of better brain function, how that happens is when you can get them to do an exercise where they have to think about it, that's where their brain will become strong, and it can almost turn the tables of dementia because you're thinking so much of how to do it. And so you get in that brain exercise, you get in that physical workout with the body, and if you can make it fun, which is a big part of it, it's really going to make a huge difference. They're going to want to come back, and one of the main things that's interesting for seniors, they have to enjoy it. And if they enjoy it, that's half the battle right there. So they're going to come back and do it.
It's important to point that out because when you're working with them, I notice it's not all aboard the pain train. You're really trying to smile with them and work with them and make it a pleasurable experience. Tell me about that.
Because I'm a jokester by nature, number one, right?
I believe you.
So I clown around a lot, even though I know my craft, I clown around a lot. And so with my humor, I can incorporate that into a fitness program, although I still know the craft of fitness very well. I don't make it strict like that. So if I can make it fun for seniors, they're going to be more apt to come out there and do it with me and join me. So it's kind of like this. I'll say, if I can act like a fool on the floor, you're going to join me and act like a fool on the floor. You may not do the move exactly like I do, especially when it comes to aerobics. That's fine. I need you to move, because the key word here is staying active.
That's right.
And then over time you get better and better, and you will want to do more over time. And that's basically what it's all about. And also that socialization with people, being with everyone else in class, that's a big help too, because you look forward to exercising with your friends.
And keeping them away from isolation too. I'm going to wrap up with a quick exercise that people can do at home here. Some seniors out there, you had mentioned something about balance here, and you can use a chair or a countertop at home.
Long as it's something sturdy that's not going to like fall when you pull it, if you have to pull on it hard or press on it hard.
What am I doing here?
You're going to lift up your right knee just a little bit, just until your foot clears off the floor, and you're going to hold on to the chair, bend the knee slightly, the knee has to be bent, and then that's your balance. That's going to work your balance.
And then I let go of this as I feel a little more comfortable.
wouldn't actually let go. We would decrease some of the pressure.
I see. Okay.
And actually get comfortable over time.
Yeah.
You can let it go.
Yeah.
And you can hold it for like 3 seconds or 5 seconds. And if you're really good with balance, you can hold it for a minute, which is what we want.
Okay, we'll get there. Okay. You had told me also there's a way to get a good hip exercise.
Yeah, if you're working the outer part of the hip, just bring the leg out to the side a little bit.
Okay, just out to the
just
side.
A little
like
bit.
That.
Doesn't have to be high. Keep the torso upright. Don't let your torso lean.
Okay. Right.
And the same thing. Hold on to the chair. Always bend your supporting leg.
Okay. Okay.
And then straighten the one you're holding out, and that's going to really emphasize the outer part.
I feel it on the outside there. Okay.
Right, and so that's really another good one for balance.
Well, you definitely know your way around the hip there because you've dealt with this so much.
And I'll tell you something real fast too.
Yeah.
Even walking helps with balance.
Okay. Okay.
So walk, people.
What? Just that heel toe type.
Well,
thing?
you can do the heel toe or just simple walking.
Okay.
Because it just strengthens the leg muscles, and the
Okay.
key to it, the more the muscles are strong, the more they can support the joints in moving.
Right.
You'll be better.
Right. And I noticed too, the seniors that you're working with here at Columbia City Fitness, they're getting after with the heavy bag, all sorts of stuff. They're having a lot of fun, and you're challenging them to do a lot more than maybe they thought possible.
Because Mark's way of teaching seniors is definitely the way to go.
Okay, all right.
And so they improve and they have fun, but they work at the same time. So when you can get your sweat on and work and smile and have fun, that's a good program as far as I'm concerned.
I was going to say, how do you get them to that next level there to really challenge themselves?
Because I'm a clown.
Right.
I fool with them. I just like to clown with them. But, and the other thing too, they know I know my craft.
Yeah.
They know they're not going to get hurt. So I can fool around, make it fun, but they know I'm guiding them in the right direction and in a safe way.
All right, that is great. Mark, thank you very much. Thanks for the visit.
You're very welcome.
And guess what? There are classes like this all over Seattle. In fact, there's even a way to dance yourself to health. Take a look. Turn on the lights, crank up the tunes, and grab a partner. It's time for Bailando las Canas, or Dancing Gray Hair Away.
We decided to create an opportunity where people can exercise by dancing.
Montserrat Jauregui is a program manager for the Latino Community Fund, and she knows roughly 37% of Seattle's population is age 45 or older. But inspiring that older population to engage in some healthy exercise, especially people from the Latino community, isn't always easy.
Latinos sometimes struggle going to the gym.
That's why, through the Healthy Latino Families Initiative and with an Innovation Fund grant from the City of Seattle, Jauregui has put together a weekly dance class that is one hot ticket.
If we want a healthier community, we do need to invest in projects like this that are culturally appropriate and relevant to the community.
Soledad and David Ruiz are part of a growing demographic of older people in King County, where life expectancy now tops 81 years of age. Soledad's son, the dance instructor, invited her here, which has inspired her to take a turn for the better.
I find I like it because I'm feeling younger, mostly why I'm feeling alive.
1, 2, 3.
But organizers are counting on these weekly sessions to do much more than get our elders some exercise.
Our work is to connect our community resources.
Jose Vasquez is Director of Programs for the Latino Community Fund, which is using this class to give seniors transit options through free Orca lift cards, Medicare and health information, and above all, a bond with a younger generation that wants to help.
We're trying to create more of a community space where we're building long-lasting relationships. We're creating a space where we can have longer conversations about what is health, how do we get connected to those resources, because the resources are there.
And feeling healthy is worth singing about, says James Suh of the Korean Senior Club at Miller Community Center.
This is a program make everybody happy.
The group, funded by Seattle Park and Rec's Get Moving program, is not just culturally relevant. It's also a way to avoid isolation for seniors.
네, 그러니까 이제 아버님 그런데 그렇게 하시는데.
Specialist Timothy Kim says, along with physical and mental activity, seniors can find friendships and gain some emotional health too.
I see that they are very lonely, even though they have families, their own families. They are live separately. I think this kind of program really helps this community remain healthy.
3, 4.
Living a healthy life is an important lesson to learn at an early age.
But you don't have to have gray hair to attend these classes.
Check out the U District session of Bailandos Las Canas, where Harper Swenson and her friends are getting credit for their Spanish class and working, or twerking, on a new outlook about making exercise of all kinds a lifelong habit.
I don't know, it's just fun to just give it a try. You should take advantage of every moment in your life.
I think that's really cool what they're doing here. I think that they're trying to instill that in the youth and make it last into your adult years.
Now we're gonna walk that way.
Instructor Zenaida Beltran says usually more seniors show up at her class, but even bringing her own family can sometimes be a challenge.
A lot of older people, even with my grandma, I ask her, you know, hey, come, and she's like, I'm too old for that. And that's what we want to change.
Research shows engagement in cultural arts programs like this one lead to fewer doctor visits, less use of medications, and even improvements in mental health.
Now here. This is helping you stay young. This is helping you live longer. Every step, every cardio step, every dance move, meeting other people that are going to bring good energy to you and help you live longer.
Live longer and have fun doing it. That's the refrain of a song that Soledad Ruiz doesn't want to end.
Younger or older, we're feeling the music. I'm so happy because enjoy everybody.
Coming up, we'll take a closer look at some local programs that are helping seniors eat healthier too. That's next on Living Longer, Living Well. And that's an even 200. Experts recommend a variety of exercises for older people. Try walking or running to improve endurance. You'll last longer playing with grandchildren. Lift weights or use resistance bands to increase your strength, and you'll find climbing stairs a lot easier. Try balance exercises to control your body position. You'll help prevent falls from happening. Finally, do yoga or other stretches to increase flexibility. You'll find it easier to get out of bed and reach to tie your shoes.
Look for more details under the Age-Friendly Programs section at seattle.gov/age-friendly.
Eating right is a key to senior health, and a lot of the things you need to eat are right here in the Pike Place Market Secret Garden. Shh. Well, I guess it's not a secret anymore. I'm going to tell you all about it. The garden is about 2,000 square feet, and it's just behind the gum wall here at Pike Place Market. It was built here in 2013, and we're really just a few feet away from the fish throwers and the other market vendors. This is a community garden that is open to the public. It supplies 500 pounds of produce a year to the food bank and senior center here. It's all part of the effort to grow and nurture a thriving market community and provide some healthy fruits and veggies in the process. We're here with Katie Wilkins, who is a registered dietitian and a nutrition and fitness manager for Northwest Kidney Centers. Katie, good to have you here.
Hi, nice to see you.
I wanted to talk a little bit about this. I know my mom said it when I was a kid, eat your vegetables, but it's even more important when you're a senior. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. You know, as we age, we actually need less calories but more nutrition. And fruits and vegetables are like packed with that nutrition, B vitamins, vitamin D, all the things that you really need to age well. And unfortunately, I think those are foods that as we get older, we sort of think, oh, I don't need to eat my fruits and vegetables anymore. There's actually some changes, taste changes that happen with the elderly too. So maybe bitter and salty, they're not so sensitive to, but sweet they still like. So there's kind of a migration sometimes to foods that maybe aren't the best choices, but the fruits and vegetables like they're growing here, these are the best choices for everyone, but certainly for the elderly too.
And talk about this issue of, oh, it's too expensive to eat healthy. I think a lot of people feel that as well. Let's debunk that myth, shall we?
So I always like to show people that, you know, if you go out and buy fast food, it's actually very expensive. I could take you to the grocery store and in 5 minutes we could buy probably 3 times the amount of food for 1/3 the money. And it would be healthier and frankly much better too. So a lot of fat and sugar after a while can get old, but fruits and vegetables, fiber, texture, all those great things. Fast food doesn't do a very good job of that, but doing it yourself, you really can.
And I know dealing with a lot of seniors, there are a lot of fixed incomes out there. That can be an issue, and you're dealing with some of these patients
Yeah,
too.
Exactly. A lot of my patients at the Northwest Kidney Centers are on relatively fixed incomes. You know, they're disabled or elderly, and so thinking about how to get good food costs for them. Of course, one of the great things, we're here at the Pike Place Market, and they can use their
EBT cards,
and they have a lot of actually other programs for seniors, Senior Farmers Market program that starts every spring. That's such a great program for people, and it gives them the opportunity to really savor and enjoy these foods that are harvested.
And I want to talk also about some of the different recipes that you'd suggest. When you walk into a garden, sure, I know what a tomato is, but there are a number of different things you can do with it.
One of my favorite things, we have a 60-second salsa on our website. You can go to nwkidney.org and find that recipe. We have a homemade marinara sauce that you can make and freeze. So again, the idea is buy fresh fruit in season, fresh vegetables in season, cook from those things. They'll be cheaper, they'll be higher in nutrition. You know, nobody wants a tomato that sat in the grocery store for 6 months before you picked it up. But a tomato that you get at the farmer's market, that was probably picked this morning. And the vitamin C and other nutrition super high. Then you take it home and make a quick, easy recipe like the recipes on our website. It's dinner in 15 minutes or less.
I think part of this is bringing people together to eat, to cook, because I know it just myself, it's difficult to cook for yourself. You want to try to cook with other people too.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the things, you know, for the elderly, about over 60% of them eat alone. And like you, when I eat alone, I'm not as careful about what I'm eating. I don't enjoy my food as much. I'm just eating as a task. Whereas if I share my food with someone else, if I were to cook for you, you were to cook for me, there's sort of a sharing. So one of the things we tell our elderly patients is find somebody, cook with them, do a potluck, you know, get together with other people, eat at a congregate meal center. You know, the Senior Services in Seattle has some amazing food sites that you can go and eat at. Your intake will be better, it'll be healthier, you'll be happier, right? People were meant to eat together.
That's right, Well, Katie, thank you so much for this visit.
Oh, my
I really
pleasure.
appreciate the time and the information here. Now, coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about eating healthy. As a matter of fact, Seattle Tilth and our East African community are serving up some new options.
Today we will be cleaning up some of the debris that has fallen down from the trees.
The work is challenging, and the loads can get heavy. But the path this group is taking at the Rainier Urban Farm in South Seattle is the road to good health.
So what they're doing right now is walking over to start filling those wheelbarrows with mulch. If one of you guys want to line up this one, just like we were doing these.
Lizzie Stone with the Tilth Alliance, a nonprofit that works on getting more people to grow and eat healthy food, says these seniors from Seattle's East African community have come to the farm every week for the past 7 years.
So we are shoveling this in here so that we can then line the channel here to block our mulch from sliding right into the water.
They've helped grow and preserve nearly 1,000 plants, and in doing so have helped thousands of people, especially seniors in need.
Bring it down a little. Our program is really important because it makes fresh fruits and vegetables more affordable for folks, and having that like be a regular part of your diet when you're older adult is really important.
That's Maya McCoy, Food Hub Coordinator for Tilth, and her message about senior eating habits carries a lot of weight. The National Council on Aging says as we get older, we need more high fiber and low sodium foods like these fruits and veggies as our metabolism slows down. And to hammer home the concept, these workers are creating a strong link between Seattle's older residents and the food that sustains them.
Having fresh produce and also building community in that way does help people live longer and they feel connected.
And Maya is helping make that connection by delivering produce to the Yesler Terrace community. The Tilth Alliance delivers 130 bags of healthy food per week to this and other ethnic community centers as part of a 10-week program supported by an Innovation Fund grant from the City of Seattle. The food helps bring East African immigrants together and especially helps seniors like Latai Zarity avoid the isolation that researchers say leads to dementia, increased risk of falls, and a shorter lifespan.
I am sick, so my doctor, she told me go this place. You can talk with their friend. You need communication, you need laugh, you need talk.
But with the talk comes some action. Exercise to go along with nutritious food that Zarity says is an important part of her life.
Because it's at home, nobody eat, watching the wall. But here, 2 hours is fresh your mind to go.
So we teach our seniors how to stay healthy, and one of the ways of staying healthy is eating fresh fruits and vegetables.
Michael Naguse is a program coordinator for the Senior Meal Program for Seattle's East African communities. Shared meals here are just one way of helping seniors eat right. They're able to take a bag of healthy food back to their families too.
We have a program from the farm to the table, so when they go home, most of the time they get a good food bag.
But for many seniors, home is where the garden is.
After they put in a couple hours hard work on the farm, you sit down and enjoy a meal.
Sean Peterson is Tilth Alliance's Ethnic Senior Meal Program dietitian, who knows the issue of senior isolation can have deep cultural roots.
If you've come from another country, you don't speak the language, it can be very isolating.
And despite the fact some of these workers earn a small stipend, bringing together immigrants from Somalia, Eritrea, Ethiopia, and other countries is no easy task.
And there can be differences amongst those groups.
But you don't need a translator to understand that these people are working together, growing and distributing nutritious food, creating an important cultural exchange, and boosting senior health in a way that's helping all of us.
We all have so much in common. We all enjoy community. We all enjoy working on the farm. We all enjoy sitting down and eating good food. And so kind of building those bridges, I think it's an opportunity for that.
Coming up, we'll show you how City of Seattle leaders are working to create an age-friendly transportation system, whether that means biking, walking, taking your car, or using transit. That's next on Living Longer, Living Well. Back to work.
Did you know adults who eat the recommended amount of fruit and vegetables have higher mental well-being scores? But studies show a majority of older adults are not getting the right amount of nutrition. A balanced diet should include fruits, vegetables, dairy, grains, and protein.
Learn more about senior nutrition and other age-friendly programs at seattle.gov/age-friendly.
Seattle has a goal of becoming an age-friendly city for seniors who walk, use their bikes, drive, or take transit. Seattle joined the AARP network of age-friendly cities 2 years ago and is working hard to make Seattle a better place to grow old. Improving all modes of transportation is a top priority.
I'm here with Seattle City Council member Sally Bagshaw. Sally, good to see you as always. I wanted to talk a little bit about what you do. You live downtown, you bike to work at City Hall, and you've lived to tell about it. I want to talk to people about inspiring other people to do what you do, especially older people. I think some people might be scared of bike lanes like this. How do you inspire people to try to use the bike, different modes of transportation?
Well, I just became such a fan of the e-bikes. It was a life changer for me, because as I have told you before, I used to ride my Cannondale. I loved that bike, but it was narrow, it was light, and I didn't feel safe on it anymore. So I got this heavier e-bike, and then I try to ride where we have our protected lanes, and if not, I try to be on streets where cars aren't.
And the e-bike, that electric bike, just helps you get along a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're still pedaling all the time. It's not like a scooter, but it gives you a boost up the hills, and so I can go straight up Cherry Street and arrive without a sweat.
And just staying on bikes for a second here, I know the Seattle City Council is working on improving the bike network, the connectivity around the downtown area. I know also that Seattle Department of Transportation, there's been a little bit of pushback there and going back and forth on this. What's happening here with that process?
Well, SDOT's a fan of the bike network, so I don't want to throw anybody or say that people aren't supportive of it. But we've got this time right now where they call, the time of maximum constraint with all the construction going on, with the viaduct coming down, with the work that's going to happen. So we've got to keep lanes going. But we don't have that many lanes from, if you think about Puget Sound all the way up to I-5, there's something like 26 or 27 lanes. And we have to have trucks
truck traffic going by
and buses and bikes and cars, whether they're vans or carpools or single occupancy. We need to be able to move everybody. So part of this is to figure out how do we get space for people, and how do we share?
Yeah.
It's back to kindergarten. How do we share?
Right.
And that's what this is all about right now. And SDOT is working on that. And it's slower than I would like, but nonetheless.
Especially focusing on seniors, we're talking about Seattle working to be an age-friendly city, and transportation is such a big part of that. I think about how seniors can get free Orca cards. They can even get free and reduced rates on utilities. They can get even some better deals when it comes to just getting around, I think is what I'm focused on here. Help me out with that.
Sure.
Seattle being an age-friendly city, especially when it comes to transportation.
Yeah, well, just you've suggested that, having Orca passes available for people, so financially it makes it easier. But some cities are actually working with their version of Uber and Lyft and providing discounted rates for seniors to help get them to light rail, get them to places that they want to go, help them get to doctor's offices or just over to a friend's house for a less cost. Frankly, there's a point where driving may not be as comfortable, and we want to still make places available and opportunities available for seniors to get around.
Yeah. Do you consider Seattle an age-friendly city? Are we there yet?
Oh, heavens no, we're not there, but I think our instincts are there, and we're working toward it. And I've been working with the organization, it's a combination of AARP and World Health Organization, to really focus on making Seattle an age-friendly city. We were designated as the 130th age-friendly city, and what that means is that we're really focusing on it. And there's these 8 domains of livability that we talk about, which is housing, and it's inclusion, and it's continuing to...
Transportation's one of them too.
Transportation's a big one, absolutely. And that's what we're trying to do, is to make sure that Seattle is a place where people can come, live, stay, and if they've lived their whole life here, maybe they want to stay in their homes, then we're going to try to make it available, make resources available so they can stay in their homes. If they want to do like what my husband and I have done, move downtown where we have a smaller space, but we're able to get around and to address his physical needs much more easily. That's just part of age-friendly. And I will say the biggest thing is inclusion and making sure people understand that as people are still here, as they have had work careers, they've got a ton of experience they want to share. And that's what I'm interested in, is keeping people involved.
You're talking about keeping older people involved so they're not isolated too.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you think about this, when you have your young family, you've got things that you are doing focused on your kids. As your kids get older, maybe you want to be the grandparent sort of focus, and then there are seniors who don't have grandparents around who would really like to support other seniors and be involved in the kinds of things we're doing in the city. And there's all kinds of commissions, and I'm really trying to make sure that our more experienced residents are part of everything, every one of our commissions. So that's, a goal, and I think we're making strides.
Well, thank you very much, Councilmember Bagshaw. I appreciate it.
For more details about any of the information you've seen here, please head to seattle.gov/age-friendly.
I'm your host, Brian Callanan, and until next time, live well. Sally, after you. Let's roll.
Right.